Hey, what's up? So, as you can see, back again with another tier list. It's been a week or two since my last tier list video, and I figured it's time to make another one. So, my last video was, of course, on the new Captain America movie, so I figured I'd just keep on with the movies and go ahead and make a Star Wars movie tier list. So, as you all know, I really like Marvel. I've made multiple videos on Marvel. I feel the same way about Star Wars. I grew up watching Star Wars. Some of my earliest movies that I ever watched were actually Star Wars because my cousin at the time, that's all he would watch. So when I was over at my grandma's or something, they would always have Star Wars on. So I grew up watching Star Wars, the movies, the Clone Wars show. I watched a lot of that. I need to rewatch it though because I don't really remember much. But anyways, yeah, this is just going to be on the movies, not on the TV shows or anything, because I haven't watched all the TV shows. Here lately, the TV shows have been quite awful. I mean, I've watched a few episodes of each of them, and I just don't like them. They're just not worth it. Like, The Acolyte was one of the worst things I ever put my eyes on. But, anyways, we're going to start off here. And actually, what is this one? I believe this is Attack of the Clones, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's Revenge of the Sith. And that's Phantom. Okay, yeah. So this is Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is like Avengers Ultron. If you've ever seen Avengers Ultron, that's how I feel about Attack of the Clones. Like, it could be good if they change some things, but it's just very, very mid. So I'm gonna put Attack of the Clones at bottom B. It's gonna be bottom B. I do like Attack of the Clones. I think the war at the end, like the big battle, was so well done. And also, this is the first movie that Hayden Christensen starred in as Anakin, and he did pretty okay. He's not the best actor or anything, but also Padme was good in this. She's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, so it's an alright movie. It's nothing special. It's not like the best Star Wars movie, but I definitely wouldn't say it's the worst. It's just very middle of the road, so that's why it lands bottom B. Next, so Empire Strikes Back is definitely just S tier. This is like probably everyone's like, it's in everyone's top 3 Star Wars movie. Like, this is as best as it gets, really. Like, the OG Star Wars movies are, I used to, when I was little, I watched them. I didn't really like them because I thought they just looked horrible, in which they don't look the best because they were made in the 1980s and 1990s or whatever. But rewatching them as I'm older and understanding movies and watching them, I really enjoy them. Like, they are some of the best movies of all time. So, Empire Strikes Back was perfect. The ending where he sees Darth Vader and they talk and he realizes Darth Vader is his father, Luke that is, and he cuts his hand off. It is just perfect. I don't like the fact that he doesn't know Leia's his sister and they kind of become a couple for like a few minutes. It's just kind of disgusting. But that was way back then, and that was okay back then, I guess. But that's such a weird choice. But besides that, Empire Strikes Back is as perfect as Star Wars gets, in my opinion. So, I can't tell which movie this is. I want to say this is the third sequel. Or maybe this one is the third. I think this is The Force Awakens. This is the first one, actually. This is the first one. This is the third one. I don't know the posters for these movies. I didn't much care about them. The Force Awakens is definitely, it's better than Attack of the Clones, but not by much. It's the same thing with Attack of the Clones. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the highest grossing Star Wars movie of all time. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it is because people were expecting, after Revenge of the Sith came out, it was like one of the most viewed Star Wars movies. People were expecting Star Wars to just come back and be better than it ever was, and Force Awakens was definitely a letdown. Now, it's not a bad movie. Kylo Ren is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He probably is, besides Darth Maul, just because I love them both, but Darth Maul is definitely just right there, and then Kylo Ren, then like Darth Vader or whatever, but I love Kylo Ren in this movie. I also love Finn. I believe his name's Finn. I don't remember. I mean, I say I love him, but I don't remember his name. I'm pretty sure it's Finn, but the fact that he didn't become a Jedi throughout the series really just, I don't like that. I think he should have been the Jedi. It was so cool to see him. He doesn't have the Force, and the first time he ever picked up a lightsaber and he went toe to toe with Kylo Ren, like, he had the most potential to be one of the coolest Jedis ever. And then Rey, in this movie, she's not that bad, but man, she really just is worse and worse and worse and worse. But I do think this movie is pretty alright. It's pretty middle of the road, just like Attack of the Clones, but it's definitely the best the sequels get, that's for sure. The next one is, I believe it's The Last Jedi, and this is like bottom C tier. Actually, yeah, it's bottom C. I'd say it's like right above D tier, because there is some pretty cool things. Like, I hate what they did to Luke Skywalker. His character got butchered so hard in that. Like, him just randomly going crazy and trying to kill Kylo Ren in a flashback was a horrible decision. Why? Luke would never do that. I didn't like that decision at all. That's like the main, and then Rey being trained as a Jedi, Rey's is not that cool of a character. Like, I'm not that big of a fan of Rey. I think she could have been way better, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. A New Hope is up here in S tier as well. A New Hope is such a good Star Wars movie. When I first watched it, when I was younger, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was the most boring thing ever. Now, rewatching it in the last, year or two, and then watching it again in the last few months, it has become my number 2 favorite Star Wars movie. Maybe number 3. It is such a good Star Wars movie. I love everything about New Hope. The story is good. The build-up to Luke becoming, what he is, starts in this movie. It's just, and Obi-Wan is such a good character in this movie. Yeah, New Hope's so good. Phantom Menace, this is, I'm going to put that top of C. It's the only reason I could even see it being B tier is because it has Darth Maul in it, even though he gets nerfed. I love Darth Maul. He's so cool. But, Qui-Gon Jinn, it's such a cool character just to get killed off in the first movie. I hate that. Why couldn't he last longer? I guess it's part of the story. It's to help Obi-Wan, become who he is. And Obi-Wan was alright in it, but Qui-Gon Jinn could have been such a cool character. I wish they would have kept him, and made him throughout all I wish they could have made him, a main character throughout all the prequels. It would have been he would have been such a good character. I don't know. There's not much I can say about it. I just hate that they killed him off. And then Anakin is kind of annoying. He's alright. The young Anakin's pretty cool, but there are some scenes where he's just really annoying. So it's kind of on the bottom end of Star Wars. Return of the Jedi, it's gonna go in A tier. Yeah, Return of the Jedi, it's just as good as the other 2 movies, but it's just not as good as the other 2 movies, if that makes sense. It has the sauce, it just doesn't know how to use it. The fight scene at the end where he takes on Palpatine and Darth Vader is awesome. Luke, that is. He really showed all his training. And then the training scenes with him and Yoda is really cool. But God, what are the little characters? I can't think of what they're called because I just hate them so much. They're so annoying. Even though they come in clutch, they're just really annoying. I didn't like them. But Leia being able to talk to him and stuff, I don't know. That part I didn't really like, but the movie itself is really good. This trilogy is such a good trilogy. Their worst movie being an A tier is so good. I don't know. Luke's just such a good character. Rogue One, I don't remember Rogue One at all. It's down here. Now, if we were just going off the last scene of the movie with Darth Vader, it'd be up here. That scene, that's not even directed. Fun fact, the last scene of the movie where Darth Vader's in the hallway and kills all those guys, and it's really cool, it's not even directed by the main director of this movie. So, a different director directed that scene and made the movie better. That just shows that, the director did not know what he was doing in this movie. It was a cool concept, but, I don't really remember that much. I do remember at the end, the Earth or the moon or whatever they're on blows up. That's all. It's just, I've watched it, I think, 3 times, and I still don't remember most of the movie. That's... Alright. Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to put it in S tier. Now, Revenge of the Sith is like one of my favorite movies ever, but I do understand it has a lot of problems. But that last fight scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan is one of the best fight scenes in history. I love it so much. Like, it's just so perfect. And then throughout the movie, you can slowly see throughout the series how Anakin is just slowly like becoming more dark and gritty and just all that. But throughout this movie, you can definitely tell like Palpatine is getting to him and getting to him. And then when he cuts off Mace Windu's arm, I was like, holy crap, bro. That's I don't know. Him changing to Darth Vader felt kind of rushed, but then again, like, it was just so cool to see him become Darth Vader. And then him and Obi-Wan fighting, and then at the end, Padme dies, and you see his rage when he, like, tears up that whole room. Like, it's just such a good, like, the last 40 minutes are so good. It's like Endgame, Avengers Endgame. The beginning of the movie and the build-up of the movie is so just mid, but the last act is so perfect, it just warrants an S tier. It's so good. Solo, I'm going to put it top B. It's a pretty good movie. It's definitely better than these two, but it's not on the same level as Return of the Jedi. But it's just a pretty good movie. Like, you don't even have to be a Star Wars fan. You can just watch this movie, and it's just a fun time. Like, you're not going to understand what's going on in Revenge of the Sith if you haven't watched any other Star Wars movie. But if you've not watched anything and you just watch this movie, I think you can have a good time. Just like Rogue One, you don't have to watch any other movie. Now, Rogue One, you want to have a good time because it's not a good movie. But Solo, you'd have a pretty decent time because it is a pretty fun movie. Now, lastly, save the worst for last. Yeah. The main line of the movie that I remember is, what's his name? The guy that plays Moon Knight in the Moon Knight series. I can't think of his name, but that actor is asked how Palpatine came back. And he just goes, he just did. Or he said something like that. And it was like, what? Palpatine got killed. And then he got killed in Return of the Jedi. And then all of a sudden, in this movie, he just is back. Like, we don't know how. They try to explain it. Makes no sense. It's just such a horrible conclusion to the story. And then Rey, she becomes a Skywalker. No, she's not a Skywalker. And then she gets her own yellow lightsaber, which is cool, I guess. But, God, it's such an awful movie. I've watched this movie twice. I don't know why I've watched it twice. It's just... The line, Palpatine came back or whatever, that line is one of the worst lines in history. Like, oh, how did this character come back that we killed off in episode 3? Or episode 6, I mean. He just came back. Like, it's so bad. And I hate that the last movie to come out is, and the main story is just this bad. But, yeah. This was a shorter tier list because it's not like the MCU where they have like 50 movies. It's Star Wars where they have 11, I believe. Yeah, 11. So, but yeah, this is my Star Wars tier list. I had a lot of fun making this. There's not very many movies. Hopefully in the future we get some more movies to come out and then they bring back that OG Star Wars feel because I haven't felt that in a while. Mandalorian's pretty fun. Book of Boba Fett's pretty fun. But besides that, Star Wars just isn't what it used to be. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.